Yo, yo,
Yep.
yo.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much.
Cool. So I guess we could start off the second episode. Um, talk about the upcoming NBA drafts, um, upcoming NBA season, just like our thoughts on it.
Go through these mock drafts, see if there's some future Hall of Famers in this.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not really feeling this draft class too much from what I'm seeing.
Me either, but I think there's a couple gems on the low that
Yeah.
have,
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
yeah,
Definitely.
that have a chance that can be really good. But there's a lot of players that might be end up turning in for Williams possibly in this draft.
Right.
A lot
Right.
of them.
Yeah. It's looking like that kind of draft though. Like as far as like the talent, like I think it was like what 2014, I want to say, or 2013
Yeah,
with Michael Carter Williams and like Oladipo and all them dudes. Like that was a
because
pretty weak draft class.
yeah, because the only player that came out of that was Giannis, who was like later in the or like middle first round, I want to say.
Right, right. He really wasn't really even playing like his
Yeah.
first year.
So,
But
but
I guess to
but
kick it off,
do you
what you
think there's
say?
going to be any trades?
Oh yeah, yeah. You seen the trade today with the
Yeah,
Lakers?
yeah, but that was for a low pick, low first round pick. You think like the
Yeah.
Warriors or Minnesota would try to move a trade or
Mm,
move the pick?
I mean, if I was Minnesota, I would try to do something for Devin Booker with that number one. See if
I
they could
hear
get him to Minnesota.
I hear a lot of talk about Devin Booker, but I don't think he's getting moved. Phoenix would be stupid to move him,
Yeah, yeah. I don't really think that makes any
like
sense. They
unless
already
he
got something going right now too. If they
yeah,
keep the pieces.
unless he came out and said I don't want to play for you guys no more, which I don't think he did.
Right.
I wouldn't move him, especially in this draft. I mean,
Yeah, it's nothing that's like popping to where it's like, oh, okay, I think he could be better. Like
yeah,
Anthony Edwards, I think he's cool, but like I don't think he could be like
he's
a
not
Devin
Booker.
Booker type.
Yeah,
No,
not
not right now.
yeah. What about the Warriors? I hear a lot of talk that they might try to move it.
Uh,
I don't think they will, but I hear a lot of talk that
yeah,
they're
I
trying to.
mean, I don't know. As a Warriors fan, I don't want them to, just because hopefully they could just get Wiseman out of it or Lamelo. But
You coming around on Wiseman finally?
oh yeah, I've been around my Wiseman. Like as soon as they made the first like couple mock drafts, I was like, oh yeah, they need to get Wiseman because he was nice in high school.
Yeah, I
Like
think
so,
he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be the best player out of here, but depending on if he gets to a good team, like if he goes to the Warriors, that'd be perfect for him.
right, right. Somewhere where he doesn't really have to like be like a superstar
Yeah,
off
because
the off
all
the
yeah,
start.
if he goes to the Warriors, all he has to do is rebound really, play some defense, maybe shoot a couple outside shots here and there,
Right,
work on his game. He doesn't have. There's not too much responsibility for him if
right.
he goes there.
Exactly,
If he
exactly. And
goes,
what you gonna say?
if he goes to like say the Warriors pick someone else, if he goes to like Charlotte, then his career's done. We don't even talk about that no more.
I mean, he might be nice on Charlotte because they need a big man. So he could be like that featured player on that team, but I don't
I
really
don't know, man.
see. I
Charlotte
like,
is not a good development team. I mean, they
yeah,
got a couple like nice players, but they
Michael
don't. They're not going to pan out all the way on Charlotte. I
Michael
don't even
Jordan's
know
a good development GM.
who is Charlotte's coach. I don't even know who their coach is
It's
anymore.
some Italian dude,
Man.
Borrego or something. I don't even know, but now I hope Charlotte gets Lamelo. That'll be a cool look for him. Like just so he could just be a star. Like 'cause they ain't got
They got,
nobody else on that team.
but don't they got two point guards right now? Because they got Graham, Devontae Graham, and then they got what's his name? Who used to be on Boston.
Get Scary Terry.
Yeah, they got him.
Yeah,
They gave him a little bit of money, so I don't know if they would
man,
go ball.
man, they better put him on the bench. Be that 6 man role or something.
That's so that's third pick. So you got ball third pick.
Yeah, like if Minnesota like doesn't trade out at first, I'll say Edwards will go first. I'll say Wiseman will check in second, and then I'll probably put like Lamelo or even like that Okongu dude from USC.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they've been talking about him a lot. Other big man.
All I've seen, I haven't seen too many highlights, but I see like all the highlights I've seen were all defensive highlights and
Right, right.
things like that. So
Yeah,
maybe he might. might be a good defensive player. And then you see Obi Toppin a lot. He looks like
Hmm.
a Sean Marion type, maybe less of a rebounder, more of a scorer, but he reminds me a little bit of Sean Marion,
Yeah,
Amari Stoudemire kind of hybrid.
right, right. To me, he's a little bit more stiffer than the Matrix was,
Oh,
but he's
Matrix
nice
is
though.
real stiff. Matrix is so stiff and ugly, but it
That jump.
worked. But that's that's how I see Toppin. I don't think the T Wolves are gonna end up getting a trade. I don't think because I don't think there's a player that you can really get. I don't think Giannis is getting moved, so I don't think
Nah,
Booker's getting moved. So it's like what player right now is worthy of a first pick? Oladipo's not worthy of a first pick.
nah.
Um,
It's a
that's
lot of
those
it's
are
a lot
the
of like what you gonna say?
those are the names I'm hearing the most in a trade. And then you got like Russell Westbrook, Paul George. I hear his name around in a trade,
Right,
but I don't see them getting moved for that. So I think T Wolves may have to end up making that pick and maybe trying to trade later before the
right,
season. But I
right.
think before the draft, because the draft is what on Wednesday, Thursday.
That's
I
all I'm gonna
think
say. Yeah,
Wednesday. So yeah, I think most teams, I think at least in the top four, are going to end up having to hold that pick, and then draft day. I said maybe from like 5 to 10, we may start seeing a couple trades around there.
right, right. Yeah, I can definitely see
Um,
that. I heard Atlanta's trying to move up at that six spot.
but I feel like they need a veteran player rather than trying to
Yeah,
move up and get because they have a lot of young gems. Why move up and try to
right.
get another young one when you need to move for a veteran piece?
Hmm. What kind of piece you think? Like a wing or like a big or something? Or because they got Capella. I remember
They
last year
got
they got Capella.
Capella. They got Collins. I mean, Collins is a walk in 20 and 10.
Right,
Uh, they got Hunter at the three. So it's like I feel like they need to really just develop, maybe even hold on to that six pick and just develop the team they have, and maybe get some vets that are like kind of like bench warmers that come like a Jared Dudley, someone who can come in and kind of
right,
mentor players. But
right, right.
I don't like because it's like they got at every position. I mean, they got a young gem or a young like
Mhm,
nice piece that
mhm.
can fill a role.
Yeah,
Like Kevin Huter, I mean,
Kevin Huter.
he's pretty
Yeah,
nice. So
and
it's
then
like
they got what's his name from last year? Cam Reddish.
Cam Reddish, who is coming alive towards the end of the year
Yeah,
or towards the stoppage, and
right,
so I mean, I feel like I'm not too familiar with who their coach is, but I say they kind of develop maybe a better coaching staff
right,
and kind of maybe a more veteran bench. I know they have bench Carter, I want to say this year, but more veteran bench and let the young guys just kind of grow.
right, right,
Unless I mean you're gonna package maybe two or three of the young guys in a pick and get like a star. Like if you can get like a James Harden, I doubt it, but if you can get like
right.
a star, I would do it. But I don't
Or
see any teams
mhm.
really moving um, a star. Like maybe Paul George gets moved. Russell Westbrook seems like he's definitely getting moved. Chris Paul's getting moved.
Yeah, I could see them
But
making a move for like DeMar DeRozan or something like that. Atlanta.
Demar, he might go to the Lakers. Well, then
That's
again, I don't know because
yeah,
Schroeder pick up, so
yeah, yeah.
that would have been a good pick.
Mhm.
And you hearing that the Chris Paul to the Clippers,
I
back
was
to the
hearing,
Clippers?
yeah, I was hearing a little bit of that, and I'm hearing him going to Phoenix and all that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't really know. I think him on Phoenix would be a good look, like at least for Booker, and like if they could keep like Oubre and like just
yeah,
build off of that.
yeah. Like Chris Paul on Phoenix, that's I think that jumps them into the playoffs
Oh
because
yeah,
Phoenix
definitely.
is already once the bubble came back, they were already
They're
eight
on
and
the
zero. I
cusp,
think it was
right?
8-0, 9-0 or something.
Mhm.
And it's like DeAndre Ayton. I like him. Like he may not be like the Luca or the Trey Young of that draft,
Right,
but I always was big on him, and especially if he develops. And I remember
right,
he did in the beginning of the year he got suspended, so that kind of extended his growth a little bit. But he came on strong when he got back, so I definitely like him on Phoenix. And then Oubre before he
mhm,
got hurt, he was doing good.
right,
So you put Chris Paul on that team.
mhm.
I think that's the
Like,
team because in my eyes, Chris Paul was if not MVP, he was should have been runner up to MVP this year.
oh yeah, definitely, especially what he was doing with that team. Like, because nobody counted them out. Like everybody counted them out. You know what I'm saying? When you go to OKC, like you got a bunch of like bench warmers and like a bunch of Clippers rejects, and then he was able to take that team and like push them into the playoffs. Like, and they was like making noise in the playoffs too. That was another thing. So it's like,
I don't think anybody had them making the playoffs.
Hell nah. I definitely didn't. I definitely didn't. Like Chris Paul for sure, like a Hall of Famer. You know what I mean? Like, and still a top 5 point guard in my opinion. Like,
even though I don't like him, I think he deserves a ring. He needed to get that Dwight Howard treatment. Like it was finally time for Dwight Howard to get a ring, even though most of us don't like Dwight Howard.
Yeah, Dwight.
Like but he actually earned it. He was playing key.
He was solid. He was solid. He was solid.
So I think Melo and Chris Paul.
Then the next two.
Vince Carter is done. He retired. So I think those two deserve to get a ring before it's all said and done. Because I don't know. Honestly, I feel bad when great players end up with no ring. Because I always everybody always is like, oh well, they're not this and they're not that because they don't got a ring. But it's like they were still great players.
Right. Like look at Karl Malone. You know what I mean? Like he gets overshadowed, but he's number 2 on the all-time scoring list. You know what I'm saying?
Like Stockton, number 1 on assists, not even close.
Right. So it's like those kind of guys, they just kind of get thrown under the bus in a way, forgotten about.
The only person who doesn't have a ring, who it seems like it doesn't matter, is Allen Iverson. That's the only person who nobody cares. It's Allen Iverson's Allen Iverson, and a ring never defined him.
Right, because he was so impactful to the game.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, so I mean, it looks like here, with Atlanta, I'm looking on this NBA draft net. They look like they're talking about Patrick Williams. I never even heard of this dude.
Yeah, I'm not even sure. Florida State, Patrick Williams, freshman.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with the critter.
One name I hear about a lot, and I see him on a mock draft to New York at 8. Tyrese Halliburton.
Oh yeah. I was hearing about him.
I've been hearing a lot about him. And I remember during the season, I think he broke his arm or leg. He broke something and he was out. But I've been hearing a lot about him. They're saying he might be the best player in this draft.
Yeah, I was hearing they said he may be the best shooter.
Yeah, but his shot is ugly. Yeah, his
shot.
Yeah, that's an ugly shot.
Oh man. That might have to be a future episode, ugliest jump shots. That Anthony Mason.
Yeah,
that's just horrible.
Yeah. And I see this dude from Israel, Danny.
Yeah, I was talking about the Warriors may try to get him.
Yeah. It looks like he's falling right now.
Right. I think he's gonna go higher than 9 though. I don't see him going
The foreign players are a little tricky though, because it's everybody's always looking for the next Porzingis or next Luka.
Right.
But those ones are tricky. You might try to overdraft and pick them. So 9 might be a good spot for him.
Mm-hmm. And with Washington too, that kind of team they got, John Wall coming back, Beal coming back, and both of them playing together in their primes, that's gonna be first to be seen because Beal wasn't even on that level that he's on now when John Wall was healthy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So
I've been hearing a lot about Beal getting traded, but then it sounds like Washington don't want to trade him, and it sounds like Beal wants to stay with Washington. Yeah. So I don't know. I think they may try to at least run a year with Beal and Wall back.
They should at least Wall doing
pickup games.
Right.
Wall doing pickup games with Michael Beasley.
Michael Beasley needs to be in the NBA for something.
That's a scary dude. He looked like he about to fight everybody. Got his nails painted. He's a scary dude. He's one of the best blacktop gym players ever. Put him in the NBA and he just doesn't care no more.
Nope. He's just getting that check to be cutting his ass.
I remember it was him at Kansas State, I want to say, the same year KD was at Texas with DJ Augustine.
Mm-hmm.
And Beasley was one of the greatest players ever I seen in college.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, man, and then he gets to the NBA and then he just don't care no more.
Yep. Hey, he went number 2 after D Rose that year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, man, what happened? He was
Man.
like 25 and like 12 in college.
And then him with D Wade, like at that time, like that was before the big three. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that could have been like a if he would have like came with his shit together. You know what I'm saying? Like that could have been a cool little
Yeah.
team if they put some other pieces around them.
Man, but then he went to the Lakers. Then he went to a bunch of other
Yeah.
teams, and then he went to China, and I don't even know what's going on with that
I
guy
heard
anymore.
the Knicks had a run with him for a minute, and I was like,
Yeah.
man. Speaking of them, man, they need to do something this draft, man. They need they need to make a
Oh,
move
man.
because
I'm hearing they want CP3 or they want Russell Westbrook, but
yeah.
I don't see any hope with the Knicks in the near future.
You know, I kind of want them to get Cole Anthony on the low. I think he's gonna be like
I can
the gem of the draft, in my opinion.
I, I can see that right now. I see what Cole Anthony 15 to Orlando.
Yeah.
A lot of teams are hating on him. He was good in the year. I think he went through a slump in the year.
Right.
That kind of messed him up. I see Nico Mannion. I see
Oh
him
yeah,
to
he's
Utah
nice
at
too.
23.
Nice too.
He was cool. Yeah, he was cool. These other names, I don't even know. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm not really.
Jaden McDaniels was cool for Washington.
I don't think I've seen him play. I know that dude,
R.J. Hampton.
R.J. Hampton. I heard of him. He's pretty nice. And then Tyrese Maxey from Kentucky. He was balling last year
Yeah,
for them.
I don't know. There's not too many big names. Killian Hayes from
Right.
France. I remember you telling me about him.
Right.
I seen a little bit of his highlights,
Mm-hmm.
but you know them France players, they'll fool you.
Yeah, man. They like Tony Parker. Like you know, then Tony Parker he didn't play like his first year, and then like after that he just started balling out.
Yeah. And then what was the point guard recently? I think he was from France. There's a couple point guards from France that like
Um, I can't really remember.
or no, maybe I'm thinking Australia.
Australia,
Where was the dude?
Exum.
Exum. There's Exum. I thought there was someone. I thought there was another guy who I thought was from France. Maybe I'm wrong about French players.
No,
I apologize.
Nilakina. Nilakina.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah.
No, is it him?
Yeah, Frank Nilakina.
I feel like there's other ones from France who
He
like
was on the Knicks.
kind of went in the lottery and then he just didn't turn out right.
Yeah, that was him. Nilakina. He went to the Knicks, and then they could have had Donovan Mitchell. They went Nilakina.
The Knicks are just somewhere where you just go and just you don't pan out. Like Dennis Smith, they're talking about Dennis Smith about to be the starting point guard, but he barely played last year. So it's like, how you go from barely playing to now you're going to be the starting point guard?
I remember they were talking about him. They should have drafted him that draft because I remember he went like 5 to like Dallas or something. They picked Porzingis.
Because they're saying Tibbs wanted him on wherever he was. I don't know. I think he was at Chicago at that time or Minnesota.
Or Minnesota, yeah, probably.
Isn't Tibbs the Knicks coach right now?
Yep.
Yeah, so I think that's why they're saying that Dennis Smith might be the starter because Tibbs wanted him to draft him or something.
Yeah. See that whole dynamic up in New York, man. I don't know what they're doing up there. Like they need to like just bomb that whole organization and just kind of start from scratch. Like get a new GM.
I feel like they do that. I feel like they do that every like year, every 2 years. They bomb it and they hire a new GM.
Really, it's the owner though. It's the ownership.
He's the worst owner in the NBA.
That boy James Dolan or whatever his name is.
Yeah, he be banning fans just because they looked at him and shit.
He's going to former players and shit. You know, like Charles Barkley and Charles Oakley in the game.
Starting fights with them. It's just like, man, what is going on?
Oh shit.
And then all the mediocre players they signed the contracts, 2-year contracts last year. It's like, why?
All them backup power forwards from other teams.
Yeah.
What y'all doing?
It's like, why do you keep doing this? Every year you do it to yourself, and then you hire some new coach who's like an established coach, and then he goes in for 2 years, and then you let him go because they have Phil Jackson. Didn't they have dude that used to be like Memphis's coach? I forget his name.
Collins.
It was
You talking about Mike?
It was the black dude.
Mike Woodson.
No, not Mike Woodson. It was. Let me. I'll pull it up. Let's see.
The last dude that was when they went to the playoffs. That was the last dude they had. It was Mike Woodson.
It wasn't. It was like because last year didn't they have like fire their coach and they had an interim? It was the person before the interim.
Oh shit. You talking about my boy light skin dude. They used to be on Miami.
Yeah,
Yeah. I know what you talking
yeah.
about. Fuck, what was his name? I forgot that dude's
Let's
name.
see. I see a picture of him, but it's not showing him. Ugly dude with
Yeah,
glasses.
he got a bad wife though.
what is this? What is this guy's name?
Light skin dude with the glasses.
Fisdale, David
Yeah, David
Fisdale.
Fisdale, that dude.
Yeah, wasn't he the coach at one year?
Yeah, he
David
was.
Fisdale,
Yeah, they had him for a
Mike
minute.
Woodson.
Mike Woodson was up there. They had a couple dudes up in that position, and they just didn't know what they was doing. Like Phil Jackson,
Like
to me,
that.
that was like the most. He wasn't even the coach. That motherfucker was on the sidelines
He was a
calling. He was the
GM.
sidelines
Yeah,
calling the plays. I
yeah.
mean, we run this Lakers offense with no Laker personnel. We run this offense though, like what? that triangle.
Yeah, they had. So it was Tibbs now, and the interim coach was Mike Miller. They had David Fisdale. Jeff Hornacek was the coach for 2 years.
Yep, I remember that.
Kurt Rambis, I think, was an interim head coach. Derek Fisher,
Oh
Mike
shit.
Woodson, Mike D'Antoni, Isaiah Thomas, Larry Brown. Like they have all these big names.
But nothing to back it up.
Nothing pans out.
Mm-hmm.
Lenny Wilkins, 2004, 2005. Herb Williams, man.
Herb Williams. They got all their former players. Everybody to coach their team. To me, they messed up when they got rid of Van Gundy.
I heard they were trying to bring him back this year.
Well, at this point, shit. I heard Stan Van Gundy's on the Pelicans now.
I don't know how Stan Van Gundy stays getting jobs.
He's gonna ruin.
Especially
He's
if
gonna ruin.
he's gonna.
He's gonna ruin that team, man.
Why are you gonna give him a job with a bunch of young players? Like he's a like I almost say he's a terrible coach, but it's like I don't think he's a very good coach.
Nah, he's just too old school. Like I think I was listening to like a episode like on a podcast with All the Smoke, and they were talking about like that old school Orlando Magic team when they had Dwight.
Yeah.
And he was coach on that team, and like JJ Redick and Matt Barnes, they was like, man, he was calling some plays like in the finals. They was like, what are you talking about? Like how we go from like all through the playoffs, we like doing all these plays, beating all these teams, and then once they get to the finals, like you just switch up the play call and they're like, no, we're gonna run this kind of offense now, and then start taking guys out that was going crazy for them, and then start like running with some other clowns. It's like, dude, like that don't make no sense.
Yeah, and it's like I think him and like Dwight Howard hated each
Yeah,
other.
that's why Dwight went up out of there. that's when Dwight turned into a pussy.
Yeah. It's like why is he still getting jobs? And then he was on the Pistons. That went nowhere.
Right. Yeah, both the Van Gundy brothers, they just need to be stick to like podcasting. They don't need to be doing no type of coaching or like if anything, they should just like try to hire like Mark Jackson or something like that because at least like he built that Warriors team, you know what I'm saying? Like he was drafting some gems and whatnot and kind of put that he basically put the blueprint together. Steve Kerr just kind of took it and ran with it, you know?
Yeah, but apparently he because he's like blackballed, but apparently it's like because he like tried to preach the good word every time he had a chance to. He wanted to be Preacher Jackson.
Right.
Father the damn priest in the damn pastor in the damn place. Yeah. It's like they blackballed him. I don't think they should have blackballed him for that. Just tell him like, hey, calm it down, cool it.
Right. And then I think too, like he was making like some like kind of like prejudice like comments like I guess towards like the LGBTQ community and all that. So that was just an ugly look for him, you know, like yeah. So I was like, nah, but nah, like I don't know. I think he should still get an opportunity to coach. Like even if he went to the Knicks, I think that would have been a good look for them, just because he could have built that team.
Like if he said something, I feel like he did his time to where if he did say something inappropriate or out of line, I mean, he did his time, and I think he should get a chance now, unless it was something super bad. But I don't remember nothing super bad. So it's like, give the man a chance. Let's see, like, put him on the Pelicans, see if he can develop them young cats.
Right. Yeah, I've been hearing some trades that like with them, like they may trade like Drew Holiday. I seen like one deal like the Warriors may trade down and try to get that 10 pick, and then try to get or like 13, move down to 13 and try to get Jackson Hayes and Drew Holiday for that number 2. I was like, it's not a bad deal necessarily, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
I would do that because unless it's Wiseman though, unless Wiseman is there, I don't think the Warriors can pass up on him.
Nah, exactly. That's my thing, and it's like I don't know why. Like I keep seeing all these like different mock trades and all this shit, and it's like they keep trying to like move Clay to 3, and it's like,
Yeah,
yeah, I understand like Clay. I mean, he's like what 6'7", 6'8", damn near. He's not.
he can play
He
three.
could, but I don't really see him as like a 3. You know what I mean? Like,
But I mean, it'll most likely be Wiggins at the 3, right? He's more like 6'8".
right, a little lankier.
Yeah, and I feel like Wiggins can be a good defensive player, and I feel like he can be a good third scorer. So I don't know why I don't know why people are giving up on Wiggins too
Right,
much. Like
right.
Wiggins and the second pick might be better than a trade that might be out there, unless you can get a Bradley Beal or
Right.
a Paul
Yep.
George or Giannis. Then I mean, of course, you got to go get them. But other than that,
Right.
I feel like with the team that they're gonna have, I feel like they can make some noise.
Mhm. Mhm. No, I agree.
Especially like the Warriors are pretty good at developing young players.
Right.
Like you see, Marquise Chris was pretty
Yep.
good.
Yep. He came out.
I'm still high on Dragon Bender. I don't think a lot of people. I'm not saying he's going to be a star, but as a role player with his skill set, with Clay and I mean, he can
What
shoot. That's the
what
thing.
I was seeing last year, man, that man was throwing up them bricks off the backboard. I'm like, this dude is ass.
No, no, he came alive, especially his last game.
Like the first.
He was.
Maybe.
The thing is, he didn't have confidence, and
Right.
I'm saying like once
Right.
you get him working with Kerr more,
Mhm.
you get him working with Curry,
Right.
Clay,
Right.
his skill set. Like if you get Wiseman, then of course Wiseman is going to
Mhm.
be getting most of the minutes. Chris is going to get most of the minutes, and then you bring in Bender. He comes in, chuck up some threes,
Right.
spread out that defense because I mean, as
Yeah.
you see, the NBA is a league where you want to spread out the ball,
Right.
have ball movement, have the big shooting threes. And in the finals, that was Miami Heat's best lineup when they had
Okay. Oh, Lennox.
Bam out, and they had Olynyk in
Yeah.
there. That was when they were the deadliest
Mhm.
to the Lakers.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying that Bender is going to be a superstar, but when the key guys come back, I think he can be a key piece for cheap, and he's still
I mean,
young.
he could be like a Maurice Spates potential thing,
Yeah,
like for
like
that team,
he still has potential. You just gotta teach him how to bang in there. He don't know how to bang. He don't want to bang.
Right.
So it's like you gotta light that fire in him.
I like that other dude they got, that boy Smiley.
Smiley, the foreign guy that was on the D League team.
Yeah, he came up with a couple. Like they've been scouting him since he was like 13 or something like that.
I mean, I don't know. When I seen him in the real games, I didn't really like what he was doing. He was still young, but I don't know, man. He might be a fill in on a trade if you got to make a trade. Maybe fill him in.
Right, just like another asset. They need to get rid of Kai Bowman. That's it. Like
Kai Bowman. Which one was Kai Bowman? Is he the
the dude with the Odell cut.
Odell
They used to
cut?
come out the bench.
Wasn't he all right? He was a little short, but wasn't he all right?
Garbage. Good on him. They need to. I hope like if the Warriors like, I see they got a couple picks in the later rounds. If they could get like my boy Marcus Howard from Marquette.
I don't know about him.
Marcus Howard, that boy is a scorer. I see him a couple games. That boy be dropping them buckets.
What about you want to keep Michael Mulder?
Oh, that dude.
Yeah, or Michael
Yeah,
Mulder.
nah, he could go too, man. Like garbage.
Then you got a Juan
I like
Toscano
I like him.
Anderson.
He's from the Bay too. I like him. He be bringing that energy off the bench.
Looney can go. Looney, I'm tired of seeing Looney in the NBA. I mean, I'll give him credit. Like sometimes he surprised me. He'll have some quick feet and he'll make a defensive play. But other than that, for his contract, he needs to go. Like his flat-footed ass just needs to go. Looking like he don't even want to play out there. Like he just like ready to go sit back down.
Right. That boy Looney. Now Looney was cool, man. Like he was a good like defensive player. Offensive wise, like he's a
Looney,
liability, but
man, Looney making $2 million. I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see. Jordan Poole, Eric Pascal, Damian Lee's cool. I like
Yeah,
Damian
he got
Lee.
heart. Yeah, I like the way he plays. He'll be a nice little piece up for the bench. Like to me, like the Warriors would be like a solid. Like they got a solid team. Even though they were kind of trash last year, like they got a solid team. They just needed like a backup point, like a solid backup point guard for next year,
Yeah.
and really just a big man. You know what I mean? Somebody that could just like throw the ball in the paint. I know that's like old school, but like you know what I'm saying? Like that just takes. Especially if you got like a big man like
But
Wiseman, you know, like he could do so much.
I, I want to say Wiseman. To me, when I see him, he's like a Dwight Howard with a better like mid range.
Right, right. I could see that.
Is what I see in him, and it's like if you can get him and two like vet free agents,
Hmm.
the squad is cool.
Right,
That's definitely a playoff team. That's a team that can make noise, and
right.
that's a championship possible team
Hmm.
because it's like from what I can see, there's no more big threes. It looks like there's all duos.
Right.
So it's like anything can happen. I mean, the Nets might be the best team, and it's like it seems like they're trying to get James
Yeah, you
Harden.
seen that? That's kind
Yeah,
of
so
crazy.
I don't know.
I don't think that's gonna happen, but
The, yeah, depending on what happens there. So depending on what happens with like trades and stuff,
right,
if like a team does become a big three,
right.
but as it is right now, it's all duos. So it seems like it's fair game. It's up in the air.
Hmm. Yeah, it's gonna be
Um,
another one of those
the
seasons, I
Warriors,
think. Like how this year
yeah, I would say the
was.
Warriors are still a championship team
Hmm.
with no trade, with just keeping what they
Right,
got.
exactly. Yeah, I could definitely
Um,
see
yeah,
them making some noise. What was I gonna say? The Clippers, man, they kind of like let me down as far as like
Clippers are
the
in
expectations. You know,
turmoil.
they got rid of the coach.
It,
They,
yeah, it was. It's like Doc Rivers. Like he to me, like he's a great coach. He's okay, but with that team, with all those egos, and
right,
then especially you can tell they didn't want to be in that bubble.
right,
So it's like they were just like whatever, fuck this year.
right.
Um, but I don't know with Ty Lue coming in, it's like as a as a coach, I'm not too big on him, but as like a kind of guy who can control the egos,
Right.
I like him as in that aspect as a coach. I think he might be better
Yeah, suited.
as far
Right,
as Dark Rivers was that.
right.
But I don't know them egos. Kawhi Leonard, I feel like has the biggest ego in the
Oh man,
NBA.
that dude's a super mega diva. Like he only be flying with the
Like
team. Like he just like everything is just solo. Like bro, like like what's wrong with you,
like
man?
dealing with him, and then you got playoff Paul George that you always gotta
Play
kind of deal
B.
with. Lou Williams, getting his
that
buffalo
boy,
wings
that
at the
boy,
strip
lemon
club.
pepper Lou.
Lemon Pepper Lou. Montrezl Harrell, I think, is going to leave in free agency.
Yeah, I can see that. They only got him on a
Uh,
1 year deal last year, right?
he was it was his last year.
Uh
He was on his or he was on maybe like a deal he had in
right.
Houston, and it was his last year this year.
Ah,
So he's a unrestricted free agent. They got let's
speaking of which, let
see
me see what kind of
everyone
free agents
else.
is out there.
Yeah, everyone else on the Clippers is I want to say is under contract. Like all their big names. The Morris twin. I don't know if he's under
I
contract
think he
for
got
or
that.
if he's a
I
free
think he
agent.
got that one. He had that 1 year deal with the Knicks, and then they flipped him to the Clippers. So,
I think it was a 1-1. I think it was a 1 year, and then the second year was a
oh,
player
I see.
option. So
I see.
I mean,
He'll probably opt in.
he'll probably pick that up because it was like 20 mil. So I think he might pick
Oh
that
yeah,
up.
and then he's probably gonna be starting next year too.
There's
Still, so
they're saying that they'll get Rajon Rondo, which the Lakers would be dumb to let Rajon Rondo walk.
yeah, he was the reason why they damn near won the championship. To be honest, like besides
Yeah,
LeBron, you know,
but
like he was like bringing it up.
he was their third best
Yeah,
player,
for real. Because it's like it was
and it's just
certain
like
times like Davis was like disappearing throughout the playoffs.
yeah,
Like
because Davis, he picks and chooses when he wants to play. Like he has that Dwight Howard syndrome from when Dwight Howard was in his prime. It's like you can dominate every single possession,
right.
and it's like I get it. It's like it's you're banging in there. It's like you don't want to get hurt. You don't want to lose all your energy, but it's like you can dominate. You're bigger, stronger,
Hmm.
quicker than every single big you
And
played
more
in,
and
you
more
can
gifted
dominate.
too because he could shoot, he could
More
dribble.
gifted.
Like,
You can shoot. And it's like he picks to shoot outside shots too much. And it's just like go inside, man.
Right.
It's like you can see he can take over defensively, like he can do whatever he wants.
Right.
But he he picks and chooses, and he makes my boy LeBron do everything. It's like, come on, AD. Kuzma is terrible. Kuzma needs to be on his way out. Talk about he wants a big contract. What'd you say, Kuzma? What did you say? You want a big what?
I heard they was trying to flip him for DeRozan with Danny Green, but that I think Danny Green already got flipped, so I think that
Is that official? Because it was like there's like I was seeing that Danny Green may be in it, may not be in that trade. I would put him Danny Green. Danny Green need to go. Danny Green need to get out of town. Danny Green almost ruined the year. He almost ruined Kobe's year. He almost ruined
oh
it.
man, Danny Green, boy. I don't know what happened to the man because he was hitting them shots against the Warriors last year in the finals. This year it was like a whole new world. He came out after that bubble. He was looking like a new man.
Like I don't know who's worse, him or Kuzma, because Kuzma was terrible.
Kuzma's still young, so I think he has a little bit more to give, so to speak. But
Man, if you can flip Kuzma, you flip him immediately. Immediately.
You think the Lakers are gonna run it back?
It depends. I gotta see how these trades and how the draft goes.
Right.
Who they pick up, because I think they definitely got to move Kuz for another player who can contribute maybe a little bit more. Because I don't think Kuz works off the bench. I think he's better as maybe a starter.
Right.
Off the bench, he's not like a six man. Like
no, he's not no six man.
Keep the game flow going
right.
when the stars are out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you got to try to flip him, but I don't know what you can flip him for. If the trade is official for that 28th pick and Danny Green, Schroeder, I don't know if he makes the team any better than if Rondo was there.
Yeah, because I mean, if that trade goes through, I mean that just means Rondo's out. So
yeah, and it's like when it comes to like you have LeBron, you have AD. All you need at that point, if you have those two, you just need straight 3-point shooters who play defense.
Right.
That's all you need.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe keep Dwight so he can be the backup center. Actually, no, Dwight or McGee would be the starting center. But I don't know. I'm done with McGee.
I'll take McGee back on the Warriors. That'll be a good look. But I agree. I think if they fill that team up with like shooters and maybe like they don't really have to do too much to tweak that team, just because like it's already pretty solid as what it is.
Yeah. They got to bring KCP back though. He was big. So if you're losing Rondo, you got to.
Man, he was looking like straight garbage the whole year. But when that bubble started, he was looking like, man, that boy came out the crevices. I ain't gonna.
He was.
Yeah, he was. Like he was damn near another reason too. Like why they won the championship, in my opinion. Like him, Rondo, and LeBron. Like those three were like the main ingredients to that championship recipe, as well as like some injuries. But they had to take advantage of what was given to them. You know, like the Warriors did that shit back in 2015. And they had all those injuries.
Yeah, and that's just that just comes with it. Most teams like Raptors wouldn't have won the championship if it wasn't for injury.
Right, yeah, because if KD didn't get hurt that game, like best believe that shit would have went 7. Because they was going to win that game. The way he was coming out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It might have been a sweep. It might have been a sweep. No.
Yeah, like 14 points, and then next thing you know, he hit that shimmy. He was down. I was like, oh nah.
Yeah, because without KD, didn't the Raptors Warriors go Game 7?
Nah, it went 6. It went 6.
Okay, but that was because Clay got hurt.
Clay got hurt that game. Yeah, he got hurt that next game.
So yeah, that would have been done if it was that. So stop acting like Kawhi Leonard so great, people.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I think Kawhi is definitely like a top 5 player.
Yeah, he is all around offense, defense. He is, but it's just that diva-ness I don't like, and it's like he's not a leader. Because if you look at it, the Raptor team, Kyle Lowry
Right.
was the
He
leader of
was.
that
He was.
team.
I agree. And
If
Siakam.
you Yeah, and it's like if you look at the Clippers, it seems like Pat Beverly is like the engine that makes that team go. Him and Lou
Right.
Williams. So it's like I don't know. Kawhi Leonard's a bit overrated, even though he is a top five player. I think he's a bit overrated in my
Yeah,
eyes.
I would say like as far as his like you said, like his leadership maybe, or like just the effort he gives. You know what I mean? Because like you be taking them rest days and whatnot, and it's like, bro, like I ain't never in a day that I seen like a superstar like when we was growing up, like taking days off, or you know what I'm saying, or like rest days. Like, come on, bro. Like, even when the
Yeah,
team was
and it's like
garbage, like the star players was always coming. You know what I mean? Like they was always playing.
it turned into a trend because now you see other players doing
Mhm.
it. But I would say the Spurs started that
Yep.
shit because they had old players when they
Yeah.
started it. Kawhi Leonard is 27 years old doing it, 25, 26, 27 years old
Right.
doing it. And it's like, yeah, I get that you were hurt that year. You only played like 6, 7 games, but it's like, come on, dude. Like, you get paid all these millions and
Just
you rest
just
managing
load
all the time.
management, and they say that load management is for the playoffs, and then when the playoffs come, like you disappear. Like so.
Yeah.
Well,
Or
it
it's
just
like you
wasn't
get
really like giving up the effort. Like,
and it's like you get to the bubble, and I know it's not the ideal situation, but it's like, come on, y'all didn't want to be there. You voted to get out of there. It's just like go win the
right.
championship. But it's like I guess you don't like Paul George, or they don't like each other. Something going on with that
Yeah,
relationship.
yeah. I could see Paul George getting flipped.
So, and that's weird. Like you're gonna bring him in, you're gonna spend 8 years worth of draft picks, and then try to trade them the
Yeah,
next
yeah. That don't
year.
make no sense. Like they just traded like their whole future for that one season. You know?
And it's like you can't. Even though I don't think Giannis is gonna be on the market, it's like you can't even flip him for Giannis because you have no draft picks for the next 6 years.
Exactly. What do you think about him? You think he's gonna stay in Milwaukee?
Um, I think he's the kind of dude that would stay, but if I was him, I wouldn't stay there. Like I don't. This was their year. The bubble was the year for the underdog type of team, or the team on the low to rise up
Right,
and win, as you seen like
right.
Miami to come up. And without that, I think it's going to be hard because now you're in the East and you got
Mhm.
KD coming
Right.
back. That's going to be like that might ruin his chances of ever getting a
Mhm.
championship, at least in the next 5 years.
Right. Yeah, I think like if they do like some move, they have to do like a lot of like revamping on that roster. Like they needed for sure they need to get a point guard. Like Eric Bledsoe's like he doesn't really cut it for me as far as like
He's not really a point
not
guard. He's more of like a defensive
right,
two, but he's not like a pure
right. He's not
scorer.
pure
So it's
two
just like
neither. So he's like that hybrid kind of guy. But and also too I was looking listening on ESPN. They was talking about how like with Chris Middleton plays worse when Giannis is on the floor with him. But when Giannis is not in the
yeah.
game, Middleton's like a whole other person. Like, yeah,
You see when Giannis got hurt, Middleton
he
was
was.
going crazy, and they almost pulled a
Yeah, he
couple
was.
upsets.
So I don't know.
I I think he's more of a loyal type of person, and I think he would stay just based off
Right,
loyalty. But if I was him, I would be like, move me, take the best offer you can, because I'm not
right.
re-signing. And they're saying like the Warriors would be the top team, them or Miami.
I don't really know like who would Miami like really give up from.
Miami, they're saying Tyler Hero, a bunch of draft picks, and it was none Hero, a bunch of draft picks, and I think maybe another
Mm,
player. But I don't think it wasn't Bam. It was someone else I
right.
was seeing.
Yeah, I don't think that would be
But
a
I
good look
mean
for for Milwaukee to do that.
that would be their. I mean, other than what else could you get? I would say that Miami, or I mean, take you would have to take Warriors trade
Yeah,
now of the
Wiggins in
second
that number
pick,
two, and then
Wiggins. Number two, Warriors got another draft
Right.
pick. I think. I don't know if
That's
it's
next
this
year.
year or
That's Minnesota's
next
pick.
year. Yeah, they got that one. So it's like you probably take that one, and then you try to like finagle fucking Draymond in there or
Right.
something as
Right.
well. Those would be your two best shots of getting assets. Other than that, you're not gonna or getting young
Right.
assets. Or maybe you try to do something with Atlanta and you take a couple of their young players and a bunch of draft
Right.
picks.
Hey, Giannis and Trae Young, that would be kind
But
of foolish.
but does that make actually yeah, Atlanta can be good, but would that make Miami any better? No, because you're giving away some of your outside shooting
Right.
star potential and Tyler Hero. You're probably giving up Duncan Robertson
Mm-hmm.
as well. So it's like you're giving up your shooters for Giannis who can't shoot worth the beans. And it's like he got one move to the
Right.
basket, and if that don't work, it's
Right.
all over. So Jimmy Butler's not an outside shooter, so you don't want to like that. Doesn't make
Mm-hmm.
them better. The Warriors would definitely be better.
Right.
Um, Atlanta might be better because they still got Trae Young shooting
Mm-hmm.
outside shots. They got maybe keep Huter for some
Mm-hmm.
outside
They
shooting.
still got enough pieces.
They still got enough pieces. Also, you hear about like Ben Simmons possibly being traded, possibly to the I heard Warriors
Yeah, I
and
was hearing about
Phoenix.
that. I wouldn't mind seeing him on Phoenix. I think that would be a good look. If that Chris Paul thing doesn't work out, just to give them like a point guard. Cause I think Ben's best at point guard. Cause they try to like move him to like power forward. I mean, like I don't know. Like don't get me wrong. Like he's big enough to play that position, and yeah, I understand he can't shoot, but he's a facilitator. Like he needs to be like the engine running that offense, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's most likely. I mean, I would love to see him get a jump shot because then he would be
Right.
unstoppable, a top five
Right.
player
All he
off the
needs is a mid
bench.
range.
But I mean,
Honestly, him and Giannis, they both just need a mid range, and they'll be solid.
if he say he never develops that, he's always going to be a 16 to 18 point, 8, 9 assists, 10 assists player, 5, 6 rebounds,
So,
all defensive
mm-hmm.
first team, second team player. So it's like he's going to go down as a great
Right.
player. So I would take a chance if I'm Phoenix or the Warriors. If it's like Wiggins straight up, Wiggins and maybe Minnesota's pick, I would take them.
Yeah.
Maybe like a couple future picks, but I don't know if I would give up that second
I'll
pick.
probably slide him to like the 3 if you're on the Warriors.
Yeah, slide him to the 3 because like all he got to do is just pass the ball, play defense,
and then that's all automatic on that fast break too. Like,
and it's like if you're rolling Wiseman, Draymond, Ben Simmons, Klay Thompson, Curry as your starting five, that's defense, that's shooting, rebounding, that's all of the above.
And you got the youth too. You know, like I know Curry, like he's getting older and whatnot, but he's still like on the younger side of the older. He's like what 31 or something.
And like Curry's game, he's gonna be able to play a little bit longer.
Same with Klay.
And if you look at CP3. CP3, he's playing all these years, and he's a different type of player. He's more of a drive type of player. He shoots a little bit more jump shots now, but Curry, for the most part, he's not taking too much physical damage, so he should be able to play. But he's probably like 32 now, so he's at least 5 more years in the league.
He might have like another 7 or 8. You know, he's like some 40-year-olds. Like them dudes still be going at it, like off the bench or something, but. No, I could definitely. It's gonna be interesting to see like what kind of moves is gonna happen. I'm kind of looking at some of these other names that are in free agency. Like you got Gordon Hayward, Paul Millsap, which I think is garbage now. But I think
does Gordon Hayward have an option?
Yeah, he has a play option. Yeah,
option? He might opt into that one because it's probably like 25 million.
31. It was like he opted in on that.
It would be a surprise if Anthony Davis leaves.
Yeah, I doubt he'll do that. I can't really see him like trying to take his talent somewhere else and build with a whole nother crew.
Yeah. He wants that LA type of attention.
The notoriety and all that.
And yeah, we got Gallinari. I think a lot of teams are going to go after him. He might go to
I could
Miami
see him
finally though.
on something like that, like a team that could use like a veteran presence, and he still got something
Yeah,
left in the tank too. So I think he could, or even like Boston, I could see them making like a move for him.
the looking at this free agent, I'm not sure. Like what I'm looking at is not telling me if they're like unrestricted or restricted. But I think a name like under the radar that a lot of teams should be going after is Davis Bertans.
Oh yeah, from Washington.
Cause that man's jump shot
Yeah,
is so
he
wet.
got stroke. He got stroke.
A lot of teams should go after him. DeMar DeRozan, I think he's a restricted free agent, so you'd have to trade for
Yeah, he
him.
got that player option. It looks like.
Yeah,
And
a lot of players are going to go after Jeremy Grant.
yeah, yeah, he was doing some work in the playoffs.
Uh,
Andre Drummond, I think he'll be a good piece somewhere.
he got that player option too, so I think he's going to opt in to
Like get that
keep
money.
some
Right,
money because there's not going to be a lot of money in free agency because of the shortened
right.
season, and there's no fans in probably a lot of the
Mhm.
stadiums. So I think it's going to be slim pickings on as far as money
Right.
goes.
And then on top of that, like
Because the
the
only
demand
person,
for a player like him too, like it's kind of like his type of player isn't really like. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's raw, but it's not really like wanted no more in today's NBA.
it, yeah, his skill set's kind of
Right,
obsolete because he can't shoot jump shots. His free throw percentage is bad. I think he got better last year, but it's still
right,
pretty bad. So he's kind of a liability. So yeah, I think it's going to be slim pickings on money. A lot of these player options are just going to like all these restricted free agents. I think are going to stay. Like Brandon Ingram, I think he's a restricted.
it says unrestricted on here.
I don't think he. Oh, he's
Yeah,
unrestricted. Oh shit.
yeah, he been in the year for not in the league for 9 years. Shit, no,
Brandon
Brandon
Ingram?
Knight.
No.
Oh, you said Brandon Ingram. My bad.
Brandon Knight.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
No, I think he's a restricted.
Brandon.
He's
I
restricted.
think yeah, I doubt he moves. And I think the only person who's gonna get like top dollar the money that they should get is Anthony Davis. Everybody else is gonna get them peanuts because teams aren't gonna have the money to put
Right.
into him. Joe Harris will be a good pickup for team.
Yeah, that'll be a good solid piece. Jordan Clarkson, that's another one.
Jordan Clarkson was
Yeah,
big. Utah
yeah, they
better keep
better. He
him.
was like their third scorer. A nice little bench piece too.
Yeah.
Like Fred
Wesley Matthews looks like he declined his option, so he's going to free
that dude's
agency.
garbage, man. I never liked Wesley Matthews.
Wesley Matthews, he's a
I
good role
I
player.
never liked Wesley Matthews from the time he was on Portland. He was always garbage to me. I don't know why. He's just stiff. Like he's like one dimensional. And they keep saying like, oh, he's a great defensive player. Every player that he guards, he's been getting like work
He
worked on.
I would say he used to be good at defense until he tore his Achilles, and now he just
Yeah,
shoots threes.
yeah, yeah. I don't really.
And then let's see, what's his name? Bogdan
Oh yeah,
Bogdanovic.
he'll be
He's gonna be a good. Yeah, I mean, it looks like he's restricted too. Like most of these players are restricted; they ain't
right.
going nowhere. Fred Van Fleet,
I think
what about
somewhere. I
him?
think he's gonna move. I don't think he's gonna stay in Toronto because I don't think Toronto got the money to keep him.
He looks like he would be on like the Pacers. I don't know who their point guard is right now, but he looks like a
Yeah,
Pacers
I can
player.
see that.
Gordon Dragic. I don't know if Miami might keep him if they can get him
Yeah.
for the low. Because him and Jimmy Butler were like best
Mhm.
friends. So Jimmy Butler might be like, hey, keep
Right.
him.
Van Vliet might end up on like Orlando or something like that.
Ah man, I don't wish Orlando on anybody. Like that is just like I don't
Man, ever
know.
since Penny Hardaway, man, I never trusted them.
Yeah, man, that's just like they got like who are their last couple draft picks? Mo Bamba, I think he stays hurt.
Jonathan Isaac, they
Isaacs, he got hurt. He's not even playing next
damn,
year.
he's not playing the whole year next year.
Um, nah,
Yeah,
he tore his ACL in the
yeah.
bubble.
Shit,
So the owner said he's not playing at all
that's
next year.
crazy.
So and he was probably their best player
Oh
too.
yeah, definitely, because he was locking people up, and he was getting better scoring too.
Yeah, it's like Vucevic is good, but I think they might trade
Yeah,
him
I
actually
could see them
too.
trading him.
Then you got
They had
who else? Aaron Gordon, who's always
they
on
need
the
to
trade
trade him
block.
immediately. And Aaron Gordon's nice, but I just don't think Orlando's a good fit for him. Like he needs to go somewhere else. Like
He needs to go somewhere else. There's no point in having Terrence Ross. Like Terrence Ross needs to be on a
right,
contender coming off the bench rather than on a up and coming team
right.
coming off the bench. Like
It
it's
just don't
just
work like that.
a waste of his
Hmm.
talent or his skill set at
Right,
least. And then you got Michael Fultz too. I mean, he kind of resurrected his career, but his shoulder's still
right.
broken. Whatever nerve damage or whatever happened to him is pretty tragic because he was a boy
Yeah,
in college. Like I don't see like there's clearly like some type of nerve damage or something that
right.
happened to him. Like I heard, I don't know if it's true, but I heard like he was in like an accident or something that he like didn't
Like a car
disclose,
accident.
but he had to have something like that or
Mm,
motorcycle or something. It was I don't know if it's true, but it had to be something that happened because there's no like how like what happened to his shoulder and his
right,
jump shot from
right.
college to now.
Exactly. Because all of a sudden, like he just forgot how to shoot. Like I remember seeing the videos, like they're
Like
trying to
he
teach him how to shoot. I'm like, what's going on? Like, ain't he?
like it looks like it's painful. Like it looks like he has like no
Right,
feeling in his arm. Like he doesn't even feel
right.
himself shooting.
That's just sad, man.
Because he was on his way. He looked like he could be like a D Rose Russell
Mhm,
Westbrook type of like
mhm.
athletic ability.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like man, so, I mean, if they can get a doctor to fix that shoulder, he could be good. I mean, he's better than what he was. I would
Yeah,
say that he got a little bit better, but I don't know. Orlando might not be the spot. He need to go to like the Spurs.
they already got Murray and
They got Murray and
yeah, that boy.
White, and then they got the other guy too.
What's his name? I forgot who else was on that team. That boy, Brent Forbes.
Was it
Brent
him?
Forbes.
Forbes? No, I think it's someone else. They got White, Murray.
Oh, Johnson.
They got the guy with like the one
Oh, that boy.
dread.
I forgot that dude's name too.
They
Keldon
got
Johnson.
Keldon Johnson,
Lonnie
Lonnie
Walker. That's the dude with the one
Walker,
dread.
Forbes. Yeah, just put Michael Foles on the Spurs.
I wouldn't mind seeing him on like shoot. You could damn near put him on like on the. I wouldn't put the Knicks on him. Indiana would be a cool team, like something like that, or like a OKC if they get
OKC.
rid of Chris Paul and looks like they're gonna get rid of Schroeder, so it's like,
They're trying to roll with
oh
Shea.
right, they want Shea at the one. That been okay.
I think so. Him and then Dort at the
Yeah,
two.
Dort was coming. I don't know. He just played like that one game. He was going crazy.
He he was going crazy on defense, and then that last game he started hitting
Yeah,
hella threes. So I think they want to roll with that because they gave up their coach. They gave up. They're trying to get a CP3. So I think it's
full
full
rebuild.
like
Hmm.
rebuild now.
That's crazy because like they should have kept Billy Donovan. He was a good coach. I think
He's at
he's on the
the
Bulls. Yeah,
Bulls.
they might be nice with Kobe White.
Yeah,
And
Kobe
they got
White,
Levine still.
Levine.
They need to get Otto Porter out of there.
If oh man, Otto Porter, man. That's Danny Green's little brother. Like that guy needs to just go.
You ever seen that
Otto
Chef and the
Porter,
Fool with him?
no.
That's just so funny.
Let's see. Let's see who they got on their roster. Bulls roster. You got Kobe White. You got
Laurie Markkinen.
Laurie
Yeah, and they got
McCarkin.
that center
Markkinen.
guy.
He ain't the same as his rookie
Nah,
year
I think
though.
because he got hurt a couple times.
Wendell Carter. He
Yeah,
needs to
Wendell
stay
Carter's nice.
healthy.
The other dude they got is nice too. That rookie they had last year. Um, yeah,
Gafford.
he's pretty nice.
Yeah. Let's see. They got a couple people they just
Yeah,
need to
Daddy
get
is
rid
young. He
of.
don't need.
Denzel Valentine,
You,
he can go.
you,
Chris Dunn can. Yeah,
you
he could
seen
be in
that
that
video
building.
with Denzel Valentine? He's getting like jawed by like some dude in like the Drew League. It was like some random dude in LA. He was just cashing on him every play, every play. Denzel Valentine can do nothing with him.
He looks like that happens to
he
him a
was,
lot.
he was like
He
Danny
should probably
Greenville.
just retire. Just retire from the league. Collect the retirement check from them boys.
That veterans minimum. Chris Dunn. I thought he was gonna be something coming out of college, but he didn't turn out to be much of anything.
Yeah. And what pick? Let's see. The Bulls got they got
They got the sixth pick.
sixth pick.
No, they got fourth. They got fourth.
They got the
They
fourth.
should try to go for like that boy Obi if they can. Oh no, not Obi, because they already got Wendell Carter in marketing. I damn go. They got some LaMelo.
Melo or Toppin
Or Halliburton. Or nah, to me, I don't know. I think they need like a three, like someone that could be on the wing.
Yeah, they need a three. You think Toppin can play the three, or because the only three I see right here is you can try to put Melo at the three.
They should get that. They should get that dude from Israel.
It's looking like he might be the only fit, or a dude from Auburn, Isaac Okoro. Go with
Sadiq Bey on Villanova.
They might be reaching for that though.
That boy Precious from Memphis. Yeah, Precious was going crazy. He was holding it down for Memphis after Wiseman got off when he was suspended.
Yeah, I don't know. They may. I'd say maybe take Ball and trade Dunn somewhere. Yeah. You can get anything for him, and just run Ball as the backup.
Or would you put Ball at the three, but just run the offense through him?
I don't know if he's strong enough to play the three. Yeah, and it's like at that point you really have 3 point guard / shooting guards in the game, because Ball, White, and Levine are all like point guards,
right?
Who are
all
really
combos.
shooting guards. Yeah, combo guards. So I don't know if that. I don't know. Like I like looking at this draft. Like none of these players fit.
Nah, like
the only one I see is Wiseman to the Warriors fit.
And
Edwards can work. Other than that, it's just like maybe Toppin 3.
Maybe Toppin 3 on Charlotte, because they do need like a big. And I think he's more offensive capable than that Okongwu dude. But Okongwu looks like a better defensive player. So it's like, what would you rather, offense or defense in that situation?
I think they're just worried about offense. I say him at the 3. I say Warriors. I say Chicago might go this Patrick Williams dude or Okoro.
Yeah. Or dude from Israel.
Then I think dude from Israel slides. I think then Cleveland would pick.
I think Obi will be a good fit on Cleveland.
I think he goes to Cleveland, and I think at that point Ball might be there for Atlanta.
You think Ball's gonna slip that fast? That low?
If Ball doesn't go 1 or 2. 1, 2, or because I see him to Chicago at 4. I don't think he goes 4. I think
I can see him going to Charlotte or something like that. Like
if Charlotte don't take him, then I think he falls to Atlanta or Detroit. Now, does Atlanta need him? But then again, Atlanta, are you trying to win, or are you just trying to get a bunch of young guys who can maybe sell jerseys and tickets at this point, or shit, maybe not even tickets, but can he? Because I'm pretty sure LaMelo Ball is going to sell some jerseys.
Right.
Because like you gotta look at some of these teams might just be trying to sell jerseys. At this point, New York Knicks are just trying to find someone who can sell some jerseys because they ain't winning nothing. They ain't developing nothing. It's like you ain't selling no tickets now. You need someone who can sell some jerseys. Now, if he slipped, if LaMelo slips to New York, that would be the
yeah, man.
perfect
Or
situation.
hopefully they could like move up. I don't know how, but if they could like maybe package like RJ Barrett and like that pick, and maybe move up to like 4 or 5, and hope that LaMelo slips.
I don't think they would trade RJ Barrett though. But if they can, if they sit at 8 and they can get LaMelo or Tyrese Halliburton, then I say that's a win in this draft.
I can see that.
And you pair them with RJ Barrett and see what you can do with that. Other than that, I can see them maybe taking dude from Israel if he's there. Now, if dude from Israel ain't there, Halliburton ain't there, LaMelo ain't there, then this draft is just done for them.
They could go RJ Hampton, or like a. I don't know.
I feel like you're reaching at that point for RJ Hampton or Cole Anthony. I think if those people, the ones I mentioned aren't there, then you may have to just kind of reach for Cole Anthony and see what you get.
I would do it at that point, because
at that point, you got a kid who can he can be a name, like he's coming, like his father played, like, because like I said, you're probably selling jerseys at that point and hoping that this
live up to some expectations,
become something. Yeah. But yeah, man, 8 is a tricky spot because it depends on who falls to them.
And even if they can move up, because I think like a couple of these teams, like I hear like Atlanta's talking about they can move up, and they have the pieces to do it. Like I could see them swapping with Charlotte, like dumping off a few of them young gems to Charlotte. They get that 3, and then they take LaMelo or something like that, or if Wiseman goes 2.
I think Atlanta should stay put. Don't give up anything because I feel like they can get a good player
at 6.
At 6. Because I don't know, like unless they move up and get Wiseman, but then you have Capella, so it's like there's no point at that point. So I think Atlanta should just stay put, get a veteran with their pick, because like they have so many young guys they don't really need another young guy. So if you can get a veteran, do that. But I would stay put. As far as the Knicks, I say they trade everybody
outside of Mitchell Robinson and
except
Barrett.
Mitchell Robertson. I say don't trade Barrett. For the right offer, you can get rid of his ass, but for the most part, keep him. Knox gotta go. Frank Nicotina Tilla, whatever his name is, gotta go. Dennis Smith can go.
Frank Nicotina.
Julius Randle, like he's just kind of rotten there. He can go. Mo Harkless can go. Efford Payton can get out of town. Taj Gibson should have been out of town. Bobby Portis, I didn't know he was still.
I remember he chipped that one dude on the
yeah, man, this roster's pretty terrible. So other than Barrett and Mitchell Robinson, I say hopefully you can get something with that 8th pick, or if you can use one of these players like Knox and Frank fucking Nicotina, then move up and draft someone. But I say if I was a GM, I'd be trading.
I think they all on 1-year contract too, so it's even harder.
Well, no, it'd be easier now because if they're all on 1 year, but you probably won't be able to trade until like maybe the deadline once half their salary is paid.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting year. I think it's gonna be pretty interesting. Who do you guys like a sleeper team?
If a sleeper team,
like a team that didn't make the playoffs last year, out of both conferences, that you think would make it.
I don't know if they would be a sleeper. I'm definitely looking at the Suns. I think they're gonna make some noise, but they were making some noise. So I don't know if that would be like a true sleeper. Let me look at the squads right here. Let's see.
I think
I would say
I think Sacramento.
Sacramento.
If they keep that,
I feel like Sacramento's kind of like the Knicks. They're just trying to get it together.
they're like almost there though. They got
Like
like
I
the
don't
pieces there on that team. They just need like
like.
one more guy.
Yeah,
they need like one more guy.
I feel like they. I feel like they keep too many of the pieces. Like don't get
Yeah,
their
that's true
shine.
too.
Let me pull up their roster. And Bragley, I think, what was he? He was hurt last year or
Yeah,
something.
Bagley was hurt, so
But I mean, I feel like his skill set. I don't know. Like he's kind of reminding me of what was the dude that the from Duke that
you talking
the
about Ja,
Sixers picked?
Jaleel Okafor. Yeah,
Yeah, I feel like he's better than Jahlil Okafor, but he's kind of reminding me of a Jahlil Okafor. Let's see how it. I mean, this year turns out, but like his first 2 years, I feel like he barely plays. Like he plays like 20 minutes a game because I feel like he has some limitations, so they like
right.
don't let him play the whole game. And then he got hurt. But looking at their roster, Jabari Parker, I don't know if he's gonna still be there. Harry
To
Giles,
me,
they'll
he
give him
got
a
better.
minute.
He got better. He kind of
De'Aaron,
stripped some injuries.
yeah, De'Aaron Fox is raw. Buddy Hield, I don't think wants to be there anymore. Bogdanovic is a free agent. I don't know if he'll return. Bagley, if he can get the minutes,
Rashawn Holmes.
I still give him a shot. Harrison Barnes, Rashawn Holmes, I
I
don't know
remember
too
he
much
used to be
about
on
him.
Philly. He's playing over
I would say Kent Bazemore and Harrison Barnes are doo
there.
like those dudes. I've never liked Harrison Barnes. Like Harrison Barnes is that guy's a dingleberry. He needs to get out of town.
He's been doo doo.
Like yeah, that dude is he's just I don't know. If he's averaging 20 points on your team, then your team ain't going nowhere.
I remember the Warriors offered him that contract when he turned it down. So happy. I'm like, man, please leave. Like, that's why, like, I don't know if people getting mad like KD went to the Warriors. I mean, that's another conversation. But like, Harrison like left. You know what I'm saying? Like, we tried to sign Harrison, didn't want to stay. So I'm like, all right, take more money, go ahead, and watch what
Yeah,
happens.
get out of here. Get it.
Also, the stiff.
But yeah, looking at their roster, I ain't big on this. Alex Lynn can be a serviceable big man, but I don't know. This roster ain't looking too good to me. Let's see a sleeper team for next year. I would go with the
Out
Wizards,
the East.
maybe
Yeah,
out the
I can see
East.
the
I would say
Wizards.
maybe the Wizards.
For me, I could say like the Bulls
Uh,
if they get their shit together. Like if they get some pieces and do some things.
they would definitely be better, but yeah, I think the Phoenix Suns, but they may not be a
Right.
surprise after their kind of their bubble they had. But I would say the Pelicans made the playoffs, so I'm not
No,
gonna
they
put
didn't.
them
They
there.
they, they missed it.
Let's say
Yeah, because
they
remember,
missed it.
Portland got the 8 seed.
Oh, I'm thinking of just the
Right.
bubble in general. But the West is
Yes,
kind of
it's too
difficult.
stacked.
Let's see. The Wizards might have a. They got some players on the
If
Wizards,
if they could keep
and if
if they
John
could
Wall
keep
comes
that dude
back,
Bertrand.
they got him. If they keep him, then they got Troy Brown, Thomas Bryant, my boy Mo Wagner, John Wall, Bradley Bill, Rui. They got Isaac Bonga.
Nah, he's nice. I
He's a
like Isaac
decent.
Bonga.
He's a decent. Uh, Gary Payton the second. I
I
think
seen
he had a
Gary Payton
couple
the other
good
day.
minutes. Jerome
Yeah.
Robinson. Like they got a decent squad, and with that ninth pick, I feel like they could be a sleeper
So would you
team.
say like maybe like playoffs, like out of all the teams? Yeah,
Like
top
top
8
eight
seeds,
seed playoff teams.
both conferences.
Let's see. Let me pull all this good stuff up. I think number one is gonna be pending health. You got to put
Right.
Nets there. Um, that team is going to be stacked with KD and a little baby cousin Kyrie. Um, they probably got to make a trade because it's like you're stacked at like you got Dinwiddie.
Dinwiddie.
Is that his name? Yeah, Dimwitty. Yeah, my bad on that.
Karis LeVert. I think they got to try to trade them guys and try to get like another like superstar.
And then you got to pay Joe Harris. I'm pretty sure they want to keep him. So I definitely see them as the top seed. They got a big man.
Jared Allen. So, and they still got DeAndre Jordan.
I see them. Yeah, they still got Jordan. So I think they're going to be number 1 and number 2, definitely pending health. Milwaukee with Giannis. I don't know if they make a big move trade wise or free agency, but even if they don't make a move, they're definitely going to be a top 4 team at least.
Boston's Miami
going to be up there. Miami is going to be up there. Toronto's always lingering around.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see. It's on the bottom 3.
Oh,
yeah, 6. Even with the whole their drama that's going on, like they got a new coach and they talking about trading people and whatnot. I think they could still do something. Let me see. I'd say that's like the 6. Washington, I think they'll get in there next year. At the 7.
7. Pacers, I don't know. I feel like Pacers are looking to make a lot of trades. I hear like Turner, Oladipo are on the block. So I don't know if they're in a rebuild, but they seem like they're trending down. So I don't want to put them.
Yeah, I think they may be a sleeper too. Honestly, I'm looking at it because they got the talent for surely. You know, it's just like once they get like another year together, they keep that team like you said. Maybe bring out some more veterans.
Yeah. That might be the one. Atlanta and Washington might be able to make it in there because scratch Pistons out. I don't think they're making done. Scratch New out York. Cleveland. Scratch out the Hornets. Magic, I think, are not making it. So that's 4 out or 5 out with New York.
And Chicago, I don't think they're gonna do it. I mean, I got them as like they're a sleeper team. Like they're like a gem team to me, but I don't think like compared to like Atlanta or like Washington. Then on the West Coast,
that might be the 8th. The West Coast,
Lakers.
You got
that's already
Clippers, Lakers,
Portland. I think Portland's gonna get in there. Nuggets
Portland,
for sure.
Nuggets, they might get a championship.
Man, with that team, if they need to keep Grant and like kind of build off that, they just need like one more dude.
They might. It depends on what they see in Michael Porter, because that's going to depend on if Grant stays. Like Michael Porter's offense is there already.
Right.
It's just his defense. If they trust him in that, because Michael Porter, he got the jump shot and he can rebound, but his defense, he doesn't pick up the defense too quick. Like he's kind of slow reacting and moving. So I don't know and he can't guard on the perimeter. But it's weird. You can't guard on the perimeter, but you can take anybody off the dribble in there.
Yeah.
So he just got to develop that, which I think he can at least be a decent defender. But it depends on if they think it's going to.
I think he can because I give him the benefit of the doubt too. Like he just came back during the bubble, damn near like a little bit before the bubble. But for him to like make that kind of impact that he did, I think that they could build with that momentum. You know what I'm saying? And he's definitely gonna get better. He's still young. He just gotta stay healthy. Stop getting into them injuries.
Yeah. So
I see Utah jumping in there with Mitchell. If they keep that team. I heard they're trying to trade Gobert and shit.
Dallas. I don't think anybody's gonna take Gobert.
Dallas, I can see them. And then New Orleans and the 8 seed.
You think
between them or Phoenix? Like if Phoenix gets better, like if they get Chris Paul and like kind of keep their team, keep Oubre, I think they could do it. Or if New Orleans holds on to Drew Holiday and like, but then again, the coach, I forgot about that part. The coach dynamic. I don't think what's his name's leading them to the promised land. So that might. I
Yeah,
don't know.
Stan Van Gundy.
Memphis. If Memphis like gets a piece in the off season, I think they could do it because they were playing pretty good during the season. It wasn't until Jaren.
Memphis, they
Yeah,
got they
Jaren.
got to worry about them injuries
Mm-hmm.
though. Jaren Jackson getting hurt.
Because Ja was looking like the truth during the year.
Yeah. That yeah. I mean, West
Yeah,
is
because you
too
got
big. That's
a lot
the
of
West.
up and coming
You
teams. You
never
know, you
know,
still
and
got the
it's
Spurs in there,
Spurs. You
right?
don't know what Minnesota is going to be doing. It's like they got um, Towns. They got their first pick. They got a couple young cats, and then
Houston,
D'Lo.
I think they're going to be. Well, then again, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with Houston because you still got Harden there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think he's done.
Westbrook is
I
gone
think
though. I
he's
think
done.
he
I think they're going to
requested
try
to
to
trade.
ship him somewhere.
So
Right.
it depends on what they get for
Well, I should
him.
go back to the Clippers for Patrick Beverly and like all them dudes that came from Houston when they traded for who did they trade for Chris Paul?
It was Lou
Eric
Williams,
Gordon, I think.
Montrezl Harrell. Oh no, I might be mixed up. Because because Eric Gordon. Wait, did Eric get Gordon get
Actually,
traded?
not take that back. He was on New
Um,
Orleans when Chris Paul was on New Orleans and he got traded. Yeah, that was that trade.
yeah. So it had to be Lou Will, Montrezl Harrell, probably a draft pick or something. What I think there was a lot of other stuff, but I forget. Probably it's probably little
Right.
pieces that were important though.
Yeah.
Yeah, the West is going to be a toss up. I think it's going to come down. It's like all years. It's pretty much the top three teams are the
Right.
only ones that have a chance in each division. Like it's going to be like the Lakers, maybe the Clippers, Warriors, and then maybe Nuggets are the ones that are going to have
Right.
the most shot. And then in the East, it's going to be the Nets,
Boston.
The Bucks, Boston. They have
Mm-hmm.
Miami. They have the best shot. It's going to be a weird year because it's going to start
Right.
on like December 22nd, and then there's going to be no fans. It's going to be weird. There's going to be COVID tests, and it's going to be
Yeah.
a weird year. Hopefully, I don't got to go back in the bubble again. Even though I feel like they did a good job with the bubble, but ain't nobody trying to go back. They just
Right.
have them
Right.
go back into no damn bubble.
Yeah, hopefully, man, they get it figured. I mean, honestly, I was thinking they should have did like a 50 game season, like how they did with the lockout season, like back in like '99. I want to say, like they should have did it like that, like
Yeah,
have it 50 games, no All Star game, wrap the shit up, start the next year, just so it could like get back on track, like as far as the timing for the next year.
for the like this past
What do
year
you
or for
mean,
next
like
year. Like rather than the bubble,
no,
they
no,
should
no,
have
I'm
did
talking
like
for
just a 50-game
for this
season,
upcoming season, yeah,
or
this
talking about next year.
2021. I think they should just do like
Yeah,
a lockout season,
yeah.
like
Because I
yeah,
think
it's only
it's only
10
going to be 72 games, but it was all based on the money. They had to start it on December 22nd, or like a
games.
lot of the players were going to lose a lot of money. So that's why like the players
Right.
accepted to do it, so they didn't lose all that money. But like teams like Miami,
Yeah,
Lakers, it sucks for them, but they kind of
right.
had to think about that money situation.
I mean, it kind of makes sense too, you know, just
And then
to get things
and
kind
then
of back on track.
because like the salary cap for every sport,
Right.
the salary cap is all messed up. So teams are probably going to be extra cheap, not trying to spend no money because they don't have that income. They're not if they're not selling out games, they're not selling out concessions, they're not selling out all that merchandise during the games. They're losing millions upon millions, possibly
Right.
total with all the teams, billions of dollars. So it's gonna be a weird year. And it's just like we're going from basketball, and then a month and a half later back to
Man,
basketball. It's like I probably won't even be
man, it's gonna be
watching the
garbage for the
first
first couple of months.
couple months. It's like a lot of the teams. There's probably gonna be like hella load management because like some of the older players, like why are you gonna come back? And
Right,
I wouldn't come back and play. It's like come on now, you just put my ass in a
right.
prison bubble, and now you want me to come back? So that's gonna
Yeah,
be
well,
kind of weird. And then it's like the NFL still going on, so it's
hmm
like you gotta deal with all of that.
but I think basketball. I think they did it the best out of all the sports. Like how they handled like this whole situation with COVID. Like,
Yeah,
right,
it's a lot easier for them
right,
though because there's less players on the team, so they can kind of
right.
control
That's
it a little
true.
bit better. Because if the NFL ain't going in no bubble. You're gonna have
Per team.
53 players plus all the coaches, all the training staff per team in a bubble. It would be too. There would
Man,
be thousands of people. It'd be
and all
too
the
much.
equipment they got too. Like,
Yeah. Even I guess baseball was in a bubble. I didn't know that, but I guess they were playing at least the playoffs. I know. They were playing like Houston or something like a bubble or like
the
not
NBA.
like a strict bubble like the NBA, but I think it was like a bubble
Right,
type of situation for baseball.
right.
So it's gonna be weird, but we're gonna get basketball
Yeah, yeah. It's gonna
in a
be
month.
interesting to see. What happens, and hopefully hopefully it goes by as competitive as it was like during that bubble, because that was pretty good basketball that was being played, even though it was like different, with no fans and all that stuff. But like just the competitiveness, it was pretty
Yeah,
dope to see. So
and it's better that it's
right, right,
mostly
more
duos
even.
now. So it's like every team
Hmm.
kind of has a fair shot. It's a lot better. There's a lot more like you got the duos, and then you
Right.
got a lot better role players that contribute. So it's like
And
it
even like
seems
the
like it's
teams
gonna
that
be
are
more
like kind
fair.
of garbage, like they got a lot of young players, so it's like to see like some young rookie gems,
Yeah,
see what they could build up and whatnot. Only two teams I could see that, like, just looking at this list, they're just like just straight putrid. Like, I don't have no opportunity for us. The Knicks and Charlotte, like them two teams. I don't see this a real bleak future for them two teams. Other than that, like every other team, I think it's kind of like they have like a couple pieces that could work, or Oklahoma City to an extent too.
honestly, the Knicks can get LeBron, Giannis, Steph Curry, and KD this offseason. I feel like they would still figure out how to miss the playoffs and get the coach fired and
uh,
bring in
and
another veteran
everybody for
coach. And
second round draft pick.
it's just they're just not I don't know, their franchise is
Man,
just they got
man,
some
I
type
think
of
they got
curse over
cursed
their
after
head.
that lockout season when they lost to Duncan. After that, it was like they just never were the same.
They never could bring it back, and they're
Man,
talking about
man,
bringing Melo back. It's like I
don't
said, team
disrespect.
just trying to sell them tickets
How
now,
dare they disrespect Melo like
sell
that, man?
them
They kicked that
jerseys.
man out of New York. Do some bullshit like that. It's disrespectful.
Hey, winning only matters to about three teams this year. It's
Man,
about selling jerseys now. They're gonna be selling anything they can. They're gonna be, them little happy birthdays like
hmm?
celebrities can do. They're gonna be, those little happy birthdays that you can like pay like a little celebrity and they'll like say happy birthday to
Nah.
you. I forget what it's called, but you can have like it'll be like you go on like the website and you can like it say like I don't know. I don't think Steph Curry would be on it, but you can say like sign up for
Right.
Steph Curry and you would pay like $200 and they'll say
Oh,
like a
I see. I
happy
see.
birthday greeting or
Right. Right.
like a greeting to you. That's what that's what the NBA needs to start doing to generate some more money. Start pinning out the players to be like little greetings and stuff. It's all about that now.
hmm
That's the only thing.
They're gonna
They're
start
gonna make some of
OnlyFans
that
page
money
of them
back.
fucking basketball. Private workouts.
They're gonna like lose all their TV contracts, and to watch the game, you gotta go to OnlyFans.
Oh shit. Well, shit, man. We're like an hour and 30 in. You wanna wrap it up?
Mm. Yeah, let's wrap it up. Let's get ready to
All right, so you guys
the
stay
next
tuned, and
episode.
thanks again for tuning